Hello everybody and welcome to another product review by Watchful I Studio. Today we're going to be looking at Battlefront Miniatures World War III Team Yankee T-80 Tank Company box set for the Soviet Union containing 5 T-80 vehicles. This all plastic box set retails for $45 with the front cover showing you the Soviet flag, letting you know which nation these tanks belong to. And let's see what else this box offers on the back cover. Back of the box shows the contents with 5 T-80 tanks along with 5 unit cards, and also gives you a blow up photograph of assembling your T-80 tank. A little word to the wise: I would take all of your main components that make the hull of the vehicle, clean them and dry fit them prior to gluing the tank together to make sure you know the contact points where the glue should go, but also knowing how they fit together, because if you use something like super glue and let the glue dry prior to putting all the parts on, you may find they don't fit as snugly together unless you do it all at the same time. I use plastic cement, which makes it much easier to manipulate the parts into place while the glue is doing its thing and bonding the pieces together. Let's take a look at the sprues. This is the standard commander sprue that you get in pretty much every Soviet box set, and Battlefront Miniatures is definitely getting some mileage out of making that sprue. You get 6 commanders on the sprue, giving you some variety for if you want to have those open hatches, put your commanders in. Let's take a look at the decal sheet. Decal sheet's pretty generic. Gives you a bunch of tank numbers or vehicle numbers, both small and pretty much large, as well as a bunch of icons with the Soviet flag and the Soviet star. So it makes the vehicles look a little bit more realistic once those numbers are on there. You get 5 main hull sprues. It gives you the decking of the hull, the bottom portion, side skirts, as well as components like the main gun, machine gun, smoke launcher, and other pieces that will go on the turret. Let's have a look at the other sprue. The other sprue contains the rear of the hull, tracks, mine clearing devices, as well as the main turret and the cupolas, open and closed. Again, not a lot of pieces, and let's see how this tank gets assembled. Having put 4 T-80 tanks together, I can say this is a nice start to my shock battalion, giving me my HQ for 10 points and my first shock tank platoon of 3 tanks for 29 points. So now I understand the pain that those American players go through when fielding those M1A1 Abrams because of how expensive they are. These 4 tanks are clocking in at 39 points without any upgrades, and I still have another platoon to take. The nice thing about the shock battalion is it does give me some other options, which we'll talk about in a different video. Overall, for the World War III Team Yankee range, these are probably the best kits I have put together yet. The detail is absolutely amazing. Lots of nooks and crannies for that paint to seep into, and those washes to really bring out the incredible detail on these models. I do look forward to getting these painted up and possibly collect a few more box sets with the hopes of someday doing a massive battle and fielding double digits of these T-80s. Let's pull out those data cards and take a look. The T-80 tank is kind of in a unique situation when it comes to Soviet main battle tanks, and the fact that it's going to be a more expensive vehicle even if you don't take it as an elite force. The front armor is going to challenge any NATO vehicle with that front armor of 20. Even hitting in the side with its ERA will protect it against a lot of heat weapons. Both the Tank Battalion and Shock Tank Company have impressive statistics, whether as an HQ or taken as companies or the platoon in the case of the Shock. The statistics for the Shock Tank Company are slightly better in many regards, having in some instances better skill rating, assault, and counterattack values. The weapons loadout for these tanks is also impressive, mounting a main gun and an anti-tank missile with an anti-tank rating of a 22, having a 2+ for its main gun and a 3+ for the anti-tank missile. The tank also boasts some machine guns to defend itself against any pesky infantry. Let's see how the points match up. With the HQs providing you with 1 T-80 tank, the Shock Tank Company comes in at 2 points more expensive, but does have a better stat line. Where the big difference comes into play is the difference between the T-80 Tank Company, allowing you to take up to 10 tanks for an impressive 88 points, whereas the Shock Tank Platoon can max out at only 3 tanks. This does come into some issues when you want platoons on the table that are in good standing, so having a 3 tank platoon does become problematic, but with the T-80's front armor and impressive gun, it might be able to stay on the table longer than than you think. The T-80 Tank Company has its own issues, mainly because unless you're playing a massive battle, it'll be very rare that you actually field 10 T-80s in a single company, mainly because it's just too expensive. The sweet spot for a T-80 Tank Company will probably be around the 3 to 5 mark, mainly because if you field the HQ and 2 5-tank companies, that's 88 out of your approximately 100 or 105 points, depending on where you like to play. For a retail store, I would say carrying at least 2 boxes of these at all times would be a good idea, mainly because this is the newest tank for the Soviet arsenal, and it is an impressive tank and a lot of fun to put together. There are Soviet players out there that were looking to field a more elite force and never being able to get their hands on this vehicle until the new starter set came out, and now also included in the army box as well as its own individual box set. As you sell out of this box, I would absolutely restock it, making sure to keep your Soviet players happy, and of course your NATO players not so happy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, make sure you ring that bell, and as always, let's keep a watchful eye on the hobby. Thanks for watching.